Okay, on 11.5, special right triangles, we will talk about two types of right triangles that are called special. Okay, 45, 45, 90, and 30, 60, 90. But before we get to that, let's talk a minute about, let me change my pen. I don't like how this pen writes. Multiplying square roots. Okay, so what you need to know is the square root of 9 times the square root of 2 is the same as the square root of 9 times 2. So the square root of 18, okay, and if it asks for a decimal, oops, so the square root of 18 is not perfect, so it would be about 4.24. Okay, so with that, hold on, whoops, sorry, oh boy. Yeah, there we go. So, let me see if I can, there, wow. Okay, 4.24. Okay, so whenever you have anything that's the square root times the square root, you multiply the inside. All right, that'll come in handy later. Okay, so two types of special right triangles. We have our 45, 45, 90. We'll start with that, and then we'll do our 30, 60, 90. Okay, so what that means is you have a triangle that has 90 degrees and two 45 degrees. What you need to know are the legs are going to be the same. This has to be an isosceles triangle if it's 45, 45, 90. Okay, so if this legs are x, then the hypotenuse is x square roots of 2. Okay, so whatever the legs are, if the leg was 10, then it'd be 10 square roots of 2. If the legs were 1,000, it'd be 1,000 square roots of 2. Okay, 30, 60, 90 is a little different. Okay, because 30, 60, 90 has a short leg across from the 30 degrees, a long leg across from the 60 degrees, and then still the hypotenuse, okay? So over on 45, 45, 90, we just had two legs that were the same, okay? But on 30, 60, 90, across from the 30 short, across from the 60s long, okay? And how that is, let me change my color again. Okay, the short leg is x, the hypotenuse is 2x, and the long leg is x square roots of 3. Okay, so you need to make sure and write this down. Okay, so if the short leg was 5, the hypotenuse would be 10, and the long leg would be 5 square roots of 3. Okay, let's do some examples. Okay, so right here, if you're given the 6, so first you have to look, okay, it's a 45, 45, 90, and this section will only deal with the 45, 45, 90, and 30, 60, 90. So if it's a 45, 45, 90, if this, and this is a leg, because it's a cross, it's not the hypotenuse, it's across from the 45, then the x is 6, and then remember the y would just be 6 square roots of 2. Okay, that's it. That's all you have to do. Okay. On the 30, 60, 90, you have to see what am I given? Well, you're given the hypotenuse, okay? So remember that your short leg is half of your hypotenuse. Okay, so your short leg is going to be 6. Your long leg is going to be 6 square roots of 3, okay? Now, if you had been given your short leg is 6, then you would have gone 12 and 6 square roots of 3, but they gave you the hypotenuse. Okay, I think these are the last two examples. So if we had 23 square roots of 2, so since this shows you it's a 45, 45, 90, since those are equilateral, since the legs are equal, is what I meant to say. So 23 square roots of 2, that means these sides, these legs are just 23. And when you get into geometry, you'll do more complicated ones where it's not nice and neat like this, but we don't have to worry about that this year. Okay, now over here, so let's say this is the 60, I forgot to label it, 30, 60, 90. Okay, so remember, this is the short leg, this is the long leg, and then this is the hypotenuse. Okay, so since you're given the long leg to be 5 square roots of 3, we know our short leg would be 5 and our hypotenuse would be 10. Okay, because you just take this and that's your short leg. Okay, that's really it. Now some of them are in word problems. You just have to draw it and it's the same thing. Okay, here's a little comic for you to read.